big news, Lila. Right?
Yes, big news, big news.
So, we did record that conversation previously, but I fucked up with technology. It happens, right?
Yes.
And we're going to do it again. However, one thing has changed because the big news were that you qualified with Dashi to
Go to crafts.
crafts. But right now, you also qualified to
Olympia. That's
right?
right.
What does it mean to you? Like to go, like I'm asking especially, what does it mean to you that you qualified with Dashi?
Okay. Well, first of all, just to make it super clear, I want to explain what Crafts and Olympia is, really.
All right.
So Crafts is the biggest dog show in the world, I think. So it's huge. It's absolutely huge. And there are different competitions there as well as showing. So there's agility, there's obedience, there's loads of stands that you can, you if you don't go there, you just can't imagine how big it is.
I never been there.
Yeah,
as
so
a
you
dog
need to
trainer,
go.
as a dog trainer, I never been there.
Shame.
But I'm gonna be with you over there, like cheering with the pom-poms. Right?
Yes.
And so, go Lila, go Dashi. Like,
Yes, yes.
That's gonna be me.
We
If I
need to
won't
buy
get
pom-poms.
arrested, then I'm gonna be there.
Hopefully not. So I will need to buy you pom-poms for sure.
Yeah, I've got some.
Oh, you're already prepared.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Good. That's nice. When it comes to Olympia, it's actually a horse show, but also during the horse show, there's a very important agility competition that you need to qualify for. So these are probably the most important things that you can do in the UK when it comes to qualifying with your dog.
All right. So we know what is it. Like, to be fair, I didn't know beforehand.
That's okay.
Like when you just explained me that like a while ago, and I never been to crafts. Yeah, but what does it mean to you to be able to go there, to be able to compete over there?
Well, first of all, I haven't competed. I haven't qualified with any dog yet to either crafts or Olympia. So that's a huge achievement for myself. But it's super important that it's actually with Dashi, because for some, at the beginning, when we started our journey, I was not really sure if she's going to be able to compete or not.
Nobody was fucking sure.
Nobody was sure she will be able to. But well, obviously hard work and regular trainings paid off. And I'm super ecstatic that I will be able to be there and to be there actually with her.
Yeah, and I'm asking like, what does it mean to you to be there with Dashi? Because I kind of follow your training journey, like from the start, and you train like hard. Like people think they are training hard, but they should see you training, and then you revise what does it mean to train hard. And Dashi, she was the dog that even me, I thought like, that might be hard, right? Like she, in my eyes, she wasn't, like champion prospect at all. I'm not saying she wouldn't be able to do the sport. I think like vast majority of the dogs can enjoy the sport, but going on the very high level, it's
a different story.
And like I said, like Dashi wasn't like I know shit about agility, so don't listen to me. Like I'm an idiot. I don't know anything, but looking on her overall motivation and confidence, like those are two things that are very important for myself in sport dog. I thought it's gonna be hard, and I knew that you have ambitions. You don't want to compete on the local
low
farm show. Like you want to go, and you kept training, and that was very, very impressive. that you didn't give up, even though like I was thinking like, would I if that was my dog, if I were in your position, would I train for high competitions with that dog? So what kept you going?
Hope. Well, generally when it comes to training, as you know, like I do have like big goals at the back of my head, but I very much focus on here and now. Like generally when it comes to training or really anything in my life. So I think that kept me going. So like if I have a day when I'm like, oh, I don't have energy or this or that, I always try to say a particular sentence, which is, nobody became a champion if they missed trainings.
That's very much correct. That is very cool.
So even if I myself don't feel like it, I try to put time and effort into the dog's training. Obviously, there are days where it's best just to miss a training, and that's the best decision that you can make. But generally, when it comes to regular work, I do train my dogs very regularly. I do something with them every day. Even if it's something small, even if it's something just for the brain or for their, I don't know, body awareness or understanding of this and that, there's always something happening for them when it comes to the training. Or actually a long walk, but there's always something.
So having that experience with her, what would you say? How much is the natural genetic predispositions of the dog versus training? Like if you were to give me percentage, like what plays?
I know what you mean. Well, to be honest, I think for agility specifically, it's probably 50-50, I would say. And actually, because what is important for agility is the dog's physical ability. So that's something that you can't go over. You can teach a dog how to jump, you can strengthen them and so on and so forth, but you need some kind of predisposition. If the dog doesn't move well or is uncomfortable moving, jumping or whatever, it's very difficult to do something about it. But yes, you can teach the dog to jump, to perform certain behaviors, to do it at speed. You can train in a way where the dog is, as you mentioned earlier, confident and motivated to do all the tasks, which is super important. Because like when you train, and when I'm training, I want to see kind of the best quality of each behavior in the dog. So this is what I'm aiming for. So I prefer to do smaller things, but I want to have this motivation and I want to have this confidence in the behavior.
But let's go back to the body. Let's not move to the training yet. Do you adjust your training to the dog's body? Like if you have, very talented dog that it looks easy for the dog to move, to jump, or you have like, I don't know, long dog with long legs, right? Versus shorter dog with short legs. Do you train them differently? Do you adjust to the body type?
You have to in some way, but you will see that when it comes to movement, certain things are easy and certain things are difficult when it comes to mental and physical abilities of the dog. So for example, with Dashi, sending her away is fairly easy, so she can go and take obstacles without me. But then it's difficult for her to work close to me. And it's difficult for her to decide to turn. So that's the difficult part, which is our never-ending story when it comes to training.
So going to training, you do quite a lot of things with your dog, like with Dashi, with all of them.
Yes.
You have like technical training, what I call. So this is agility training, pure agility training. And you do other things, right? What are the other things? What do you do on the top of the agility training? Because you struggled a bit at the beginning with pure agility training, and this is what I see very often, that we take that dog and then we throw him to the sport specific training, and then there is decision like suitable or not, right?
Uh-huh.
And at the your beginnings, they weren't easy,
No.
right? So
Yes.
what was the factor that kind of allow you to bring her to agility training?
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. Well, actually, I started doing other things. One reason for it was me, which is I wanted to be supported but by trainers that I trust and that could help me. So which was you. So we did we did bite with you because I wanted her to be more motivated. I wanted her to be braver about things because what Dashi was lacking is confidence when it comes to working close to me. So even though we knew each other, let's say for the first year, it was still difficult for her to work close to me because she was extremely sensitive. That's my opinion. She was extremely sensitive to pressure, any sort of pressure. So any exercises that meant that I'm close or sometimes other dogs are close, she would react to it. She wouldn't be able to perform the exercise just because of the closeness of somebody. And then she would go to displacement behaviors frequently, or she would pretend that she's not there. So that was the difficult part. So I definitely wanted to make sure that she is capable of working through a little bit of pressure. And I wanted to make sure that she's motivated enough to do all the exercises, because without that it's super difficult. Like if you don't have motivation, it's super difficult to achieve anything. It doesn't matter if it's a dog, it can
Doesn't
be
matter,
us,
like if
it can be
the
bird.
the body is perfect, the dog has like
Yes.
natural skills. If you don't have motivation and confidence, then the performance is compromised. Like this is what I said recently, that motivation and confidence is like in dog training, it's like diet and recovery in human sports, right? So regardless what your goal is, you have to address those to be successful or get results. Same in the dog training. Regardless what sport you do, regardless how you train, what training methods you use, we have to address motivation and confidence in training to bring the dog's performance to like maximum potential. And very often, if it's not given, nobody works on it. Right, so
I know what you mean.
Especially in the bite sports, right? If the dog is a little bit timid toward the decoy and not really crazy driven for the sleep, for the bite, then usually those dogs are marked like your dog is not suitable. When you can actually work on it, because and it's not only for the dog sports, for like any behavior work, right? So with reward-based training, if you use rewards, people should explore how to add value to those rewards so your dog will do more, and that's going to be more important than, for example, your distractions, whatever that is, right? If the dog is scared, obviously, or unsure, obviously, your training will be compromised, because your dog in the state of fear is not going to be driven for food, right? Like preserving the body and health is
more important,
top priority, right? So addressing those two things, I think, is bringing actually dogs on the training field. And how is it in agility? Because I listened to some podcast, and with Dashi, like, tell me a little bit more about the change, like when you address motivation and confidence. So what problems you had with those two, and how did you address it?
Motivation and confidence in training. So as I mentioned, I knew, well, knowing you, I knew that doing bite sports is going to help me, because it's purely work. Like, even if you look at it at a simple session with a dog, you can see that this is what is being worked on, because there's this scary decoy, and you're working through different situations, and you make the dog brave about the whole situation, that there's this guy, but the dog can win the toy, which is the motivation part as well. So I also mentioned other trainers because I worked with Anna Herzog as well. So I was regularly going to her classes to make sure that
Shout out to Anna.
hi to make sure that she's getting as much as possible when it comes to working with other dogs around as well, and any of her suggestions, because I do trust her a lot as a trainer. And then actually at some point we also did a little bit of sheep herding lessons, which I think helped as well, because she learned how to respond to pressure, because there's quite a lot of that happening when you do sheepdog training. And the dog has to understand that pressure doesn't mean that, oh my God, run away. It's just part of work. The dog is applying pressure to sheep. The handler is applying pressure onto a dog, meaning asking to move away or to come closer or go one way or the other. So I think that all of that helped to create understanding in her, that she can be brave about it. Plus, I'm sure regular sessions, when it comes to motivation, was the key for us to be able to actually do the agility training.
So you did a lot of things not related to agility to actually have very good agility. Dog. And I like the term that you are using, braver. And for some people, when I'm trying to explain what does it mean to be brave, and the simplest way, I think, is that if you are training confidence to make your dog less scared, you will always hit some sort of ceiling. That's, there will be some amount of pressure that will slow down your dogs or will compromise your dog's performance. Teaching the dog to be brave, however, the more challenge you will throw at the dog will work harder. And this is the main difference if it goes for, in my opinion, if it goes for building confidence in different ways, because I can make the dog less scared through desensitization, counter conditioning, and so on and so on. So the dog will be less responsive to the dogs, will be less scared of them. However, if you are teaching the dog to be brave, you teach the dog to solve the problems. And then if the dog has self-belief, I can solve those problems, the more challenge or pressure you will throw at the dog, or like environment will throw at the dog will work harder.
Right? So you kind of create a game for the dog that the dog understands. So instead of just moving, we don't say that it's not important to move the threshold of the dog being scared or not, and reacting or feeling a little bit of anxious about something. But by creating the game, the dog is going to be much more active in what they do, and you will be able to deal with new situations. So it's not going to be the trigger that you have been working on, but the dog is going to be capable of dealing with new situations once they see that, that's just part of the game.
And this is another factor, that if you are just making the dog less scared, right, reduce the silence of the stimuli, with every novel thing, you're gonna have a problem. That's gonna affect the performance. If you teach the dog to solve the problems or to be brave, that applies, that translates to the novelty. Because, like I said before, the more challenge you will throw at the dog will work harder to solve those problems, right? It's very difficult for some handlers to wrap their head around the fact that through the bite work, through motivation and confidence training, because this is what I want to give dogs through the bite work, right? Motivation and confidence, those are two main aspects. You can actually help your dog agility, help your agility dog to perform better in agility scenario, right? So the dog will run faster, will be more confident, will work through the problems and will be more responsive to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? On this occasion,
Mm-hmm.
I've got something for you.
Oh.
Hang on.
Oh, so that's the surprise thing. Ha ha ha.
This is why I brought the knife.
Oh, okay. Well, I did ask at the beginning, why is the knife here? Like,
Yeah.
will we... Oh,
So this is for you guys.
thank you. Ooh. Knife.
Don't cut yourself.
I will do my best. Oh, I even managed to open it. Look at that. I could open it from here, though.
Yes, you can. Start
I
from
can't
the big one.
Start with the big... Ah, there's
Start from the
instructions
big
as well. Instructions. Dum da da dum da dum. Dum da da dum. Can I just throw it like that?
Yeah,
Bam.
that's right.
Woohoo! Oh, this is so cute. Can you see it? So it's a bowl with Dashi here and with Karate for Dogs here.
Yeah, she's definitely karate dog right now.
We have proof. We have pictures that are a proof of her being a karate dog. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. This is beautiful. Okay. And the second thing. This is the second thing for the handler.
Yeah,
Ah.
this one is for you.
Sorry for making loads of noises. Ha ha ha! Ta-dam!
So we are both equipped for
Yes,
the
we are
winter
both equipped.
training.
And we will definitely take it to Olympia now.
Yeah,
Drink
There
for
are-
me, drink for Dashi.
but yeah, definitely stay hydrated, my folks. Right, very important. Okay,
This is so cool.
going forward, what else? What else?
Well, what in the meantime, what I thought about is going deeper when it comes to motivation as such, because people think about achieving goals as such. That's one thing, but generally, I would go so deep that like there's no learning. Like basically, there's no learning if there's no motivation. Like it won't happen with any sort of animal, human, child. Like if you don't have motivation, or if you don't have enough motivation in a particular situation, that's just not going to happen. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, definitely. And with some dogs, you just have to spend some time to create dog athlete before you will enjoy, specific sport. Right? You have to work on those things to create foundations, and that will pay back. And then from arguably not so talented dog like Dashi, these are my eyes. That's you can bring that performance to another level.
Absolutely. And well, physically, she jumps really well and she can be really fast. It was especially the mental part that was super difficult for her because, as I mentioned earlier, like dealing with any sort of pressure was super difficult. And like even simple sessions like shaping certain behavior, that was very difficult because she felt that she's failing and she would not take up she wouldn't even come up with an idea with a new behavior or anything like that. She just really felt she can't deal with situations like these, which are the simplest exercises that you actually do with an agility dog.
She's quite similar to Fufik, to my dog, if it goes for failing and having beforehand like totally different dog with a little bit different head, different temperament, and much stronger. And having him, that was a journey as well. Because I didn't understand what is happening. Like he was actually like, oh my God, I cannot solve that problem. And he had to go away, catch the breath, and then he was coming back. Okay, let's try it again. Especially if, like I was presenting him with the problem.
With challenges.
Yeah. Okay, so final word, which I'm always asking you to say, and you never know what to say.
No. Sum it up. I'm like, oh my God.
Like the last thing what I wanted to mention, like I'm happy because I get some people that are, for example, doing agility,
Uh-huh.
and they have problem with the dog pushing forward,
Uh-huh.
right, and like actually being away. And on the last workshop, we were working with, pressure on, pressure off with the clutter. So I could call the dog with the clutter. So he was turning the pressure off, and he loved that game. He felt like, oh, I can push forward. And actually, through those exercises, we helped the handler. I'm going to show you the video later on.
Okay.
We helped the handler and the dog in agility performance. So we started exercise with the clutter, with the noises. The dog was turning it off, so the dog felt like powerful, and then they like to do it. They feel like, oh, I'm kicking ass, right? So he started to push forward towards me. Then we brought the clutter to the jumps.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh,
the dog
did
was,
you?
yeah.
Okay, that's
I've got
interesting.
every step on the video, so maybe I will do some video on Instagram or Facebook. I'm not so good at it, but I'm getting better, guys. I'm getting better.
You surely
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Do bite work, my folks. It's helping your dogs, right? Peace.